All right, the Kings back home, and it's halftime, and the Kings have a 57-54 lead. Toronto with a very impressive first quarter, but they cooled down in the second quarter with only 21. But another good close game between these two teams.
Yeah, another close game. Boucher looks like he is an
Oh boy,
all-NBA Kings killer. We can put
oh,
him in that club now, Grant.
he sure does, huh? I mean, he was so good on Saturday and picked up right where he left off. Better than I thought.
Incredible. He's got the weirdest spin on the basketball. Not a great three-point shooter at 39+%, but against the Kings, throw that out the window, baby.
Another concern I have for the Kings moving forward is their bench. They're just not getting enough production from their bench. That is going to bite them here coming up soon. It just is.
Yeah, 21-8 being outscored on the bench points. It's a problem. Nobody from the bench is going towards the hoop. We're settling off the bench.
Exactly.
Mike Brown needs to get some Sabonis minutes in there with Malik Monk and get it towards the hoop. And Grant, the turnovers, the Kings 7 turnovers, resulting in 15 points for the Raptors.
Right now, though, the Kings do lead 57-54. You know, we keep hearing Mike Brown talk about minutes. Well, Sabonis and DeRozan played 18 in the first half.
Yeah, and it only is a 3-point lead. I don't think that we're going to hear any different. Mike doesn't want him to play the minutes, but if you don't have the players, you got to play those guys.
All right, Jerry Reynolds joins us again. Great to have you back on. We enjoyed the chat this afternoon at 4. All right, so it's 57-54, but Jerry, I was just talking to Ryan. The Kings bench to me is got to get going. It just, you can't continue like this without getting bit. They need to start producing more.
Yeah, you got to get something from them. I mean, you're just really not getting anything. Keon Ellis thought at least give him something, but that was it. And in just a slot, I mean, that's maybe as sloppy a ball handling half as I've seen. Just nobody could dribble. Nobody. I really think the Kings have really got to make an effort in there if they're in the half court to make sure Domas gets touches it every time, because seems like when they otherwise you're seeing a lot of guys just kind of taking off and plowing into defenders. The ball's going everywhere. So yeah, it's amazing they're ahead. I'll say that. That's
a good sign that they're ahead.
Huh?
It's a good sign that they played that way and they're still ahead.
Yeah, it really is. And so you got to think they're going to settle down. And like you say, though, boy, I don't know how long they can keep going without a bench, because as the season gets longer, man, they got to get some guys, whether Orlando Robbins can help them or I don't know.
Yeah, spot on, Jerry. And if the game was scored off of hustle and not baskets, the Kings would be blown out right now. They're not getting to 50-50 balls. And Jerry, I'd asked you about the turnovers and the ball handling. Are the Kings being that bad, or are we not giving Toronto enough credit about how good they are on the ball?
I think the Kings are that bad. I mean, I'd like to give Toronto credit. I mean, not say they're not trying hard and working hard, because they are. But I mean, those are, basically you're just losing the ball off the dribble, and and just, I mean, I don't know how many balls just have come loose out there.
Yeah,
that's, I think it's inexcusable in a sense. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, second half, they got to know they're seeing the same things we're seeing.
Sure.
So they've just got to clean it up, and the spacing. I don't know that I've seen a Kings team the last couple of years with such bad spacing. You had 2 or 3 guys almost running together, and they within 2 or 3 feet.
Terrible.
Yeah, one guy could guard 2. So how they scored that many points is pretty remarkable. I mean, I think Keegan Murray was terrific, and I think that would be the end of that discussion.
57-54. The Kings do lead at the half. And we talked about this earlier today on our show. These 2 games at home, Clippers next, boy, these are huge, because you've got the Suns and the Spurs on a back-to-back on the road. Then you come home and play the Suns and Minnesota. So you really need to pad your schedule. And you look at the West. How about the freaking Warriors going into Boston and beating the Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, who saw that coming with the Warriors? And I mean, and they've been blowing people out, and I mean, I think so. Looks like they're for real. If you can go into Boston and beat them now,
oh boy!
I mean, Jaylen Brown didn't play, but still, you're at Boston, and they got plenty of firepower. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, they're for real. There's no doubt about that. It's kind of like the Cavaliers. Everybody knew they'd be good. You didn't know they was going to be that good.
Yep.
And same with Oklahoma City. You knew they'd be really, really good. And so, yeah, the West is, man, you got to get your wins when you can.
That's right.
Gentlemen, coming into tonight, the Warriors net rating 17.3.
Wow. Yeah. They won with Steph Curry, and they're winning. Curry's back now, obviously, but they were able to win all the games without Curry, which is impressive. And knock on wood, the Kings have been healthy this year with their key guys. Herter was sick for 2 games, but that's not an injury. 57-54, and that's the one thing you can't predict and you don't know, and you have to hold your breath, because the starting 5 for the Kings is their team, with their bench being the way what it is. Man, they cannot afford to lose a starter here, especially with the games coming up. So cross your fingers that they stay healthy.
Yeah, you guys just pointed out, I think, it's like the Warriors. They've got a terrific bench. It's just the opposite. They're extremely deep, and the Kings just aren't right now. I mean, so that'll be a key for the Kings. I think the starting unit is really good. They haven't played particularly great the first half, but you don't worry about them. They've proven themselves. So, but you've got to get some help from the bench.
What do you think this second half happens, Ryan? You think the Kings hold on and win, or do you think we're going to have a repeat of last year, where after these East Coast trips, the long trips, day of travel, they lose?
I think it's going to be a repeat, gentlemen. I think the Kings lose this game. I just think all the energy is going the Raptors' way. The Raptors have not felt the Kings one time tonight. The ball is not in De'Aaron's hands very much, which may be by plan because of his finger bringing it up. I'm going Raptors 117, Kings 115.
Jerry?
I think it's going to be Kings 120, Raptors 112. And the reason I say that, I think Mike Brown's going to come out here and, you really want to get some pressure on the ball, pick up full court or 3/4 court, really get this game stretched out. And if nothing else, you get your own team kind of woke up. You've got enough guard depth. Put some pressure on here, go win the ball game. But we'll see.
I think the fact that the Kings are leading, playing that way, is a positive. So I think they withstood the storm. You made a good point, Ryan, that if you were judging this team on hustle and things of that nature, it would be a blowout. I do think the Kings will win this game. I got them winning 112-107.
All right. I hope I'm wrong, gentlemen.
Well, put it this way: if this game was a diving contest, this would be like a 7.5.
Yeah, well, yeah. And listen, I'm not surprised. We talk about this at 4:00 today. You're coming off the road, you're sluggish. We see it all the time. There's nothing that, in terms of what we're discussing, that none of this surprises me. I didn't expect the Kings to be fresh, 100%,
right,
running through walls. I didn't expect that. But what I do look at the fact that they're leading by 3 is a real positive.
And to Ryan's point, I agree. I mean, it really just takes what the Kings need to do: just clean up the sloppiness and hustle and work harder. They're being outworked, and so the Kings for one half can match that intensity, I think.
We saw it last game in Miami. Best quarter of the season. The Kings have been brilliant in the third quarters so far, gentlemen.
Speaking of Miami, they are in Phoenix right now. There's a hell of a game going on, but the Suns now have opened up a 4-point lead with 44 seconds left. We talk about the Warriors. I got to tell you, listen, when I look at the Suns roster, I'm like, but boy, are they off to a hell of a start, guys. And the Kings are going to see them twice here real soon.
The addition of Tyus Jones has really helped that team.
Oh, man.
It allows Booker to go back to being who he really is. And, of course, Bradley Beal's healthy now. And when you can bring they've got a couple of good guys off the bench. How about Grayson Allen is coming off the bench? When you can bring Grayson Allen off the bench, you're pretty darn good.
Also, Memphis won, but John Morant left the game in the third quarter with a hamstring. So keep your eye on that. There have been already a lot of significant injuries. Aaron Gordon with Denver is going to be out multiple weeks. That is a huge loss for them.
It's really scary, isn't it? So many injuries. It's not as bad as football, but it's one of those things where it seems like the intensity of the game is just causing so many injuries. I don't know if guys are being overtrained or what it is. And I wonder sometimes with year-round play if that really does more harm than good.
Well, right now, no injuries for the Kings, knock on wood. They lead 57-54. Remember, everyone, we will be on right after the game, and we invite your phone calls right here on If You Don't Like That. So hope you can join us, and we'll break down this game. So, Jerry, you're thinking we've seen the rust, and that will wear off here in the second half for the Kings. That's what your forecast is?
Yeah, it really is. I just believe they can, kind of like we saw in Miami, although it's a different situation, but Miami's a much better team. But I think they'll settle down here and take this game. And then really after in the post-game show, everybody tune in and tell Ryan he was wrong.
Yeah.
But we want Ryan to be wrong.
That we do. I just
And
worry.
Ryan wants to be wrong.
I want to be wrong too. I just worry that this Toronto team, they played Denver to 2 points in Denver. They beat the Kings on Saturday. These young guys are gaining confidence by the minute. And the fact that they look fresh and the Kings look tired, it's just not a good recipe. But we'll see. That's why they roll the ball out there and play him, as John Finch says.
Yeah, well, again, this is a brief 2-game homestand. You've got the Clippers coming in next. The Clippers, by the way, are taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. They are in town in 2 nights, and that game is at the half, and the Clippers and the Sixers are tied at 51. So 51 all, and again, the Clippers will be coming in next, and then the Kings hit the road. That's a back-to-back. Phoenix followed by at San Antonio, who lost to the Rockets. The Rockets got off to a slow start here the first couple of games, but they really picked it up. They're playing well.
They really are. That's a good team. I think
Yes, it is.
Be there for the morning. And, I think San Antonio really is a little bit of have been an underachiever from at some point, if you got one of the first ballot Hall of Famer, you really need to win games.
Well, Jerry, they haven't played the Kings yet.
That's an excellent point right there, Ryan.
Yeah. Again, just to update you, Phoenix now is leading Miami 114-110 with 16 seconds left. And Oklahoma City and Denver right now is leading in the fourth with 2:56 left, 117-110. That would be one hell of a win for Denver tonight if they could beat OKC. That would be a big-time win. Jerry, you hang in there, man. Get a good night's sleep, and we'll look forward to chatting with you when the Kings take on the Clippers in 2 nights.
Yeah, well, I'll get a lot better sleep if you guys can pull out this game. I'll tell you that much. So we'll see what happens. But, hey, I think they're going to get it. So we'll see. Take care, guys.
All right. Care. Thanks, Jerry.
Bye-bye. Appreciate that with Jerry. And again, Rhino, we'll be on in about an hour as the second half is going to start here in about 90 seconds. And Phoenix, again, is holding on up by 4 with 16 seconds left. And the Nuggets now lead 119-113 with 2 minutes left. We'll update the scoreboard for you at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Phone calls. Give us your phone call after the game. All right? There's the link or the QR code, everything else you need. And please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Would you mind doing that? That would help us out a lot here. And enjoy the second half. And we'll be back here in a little more than an hour. Bye-bye now. Thank you.